Mama don't cry. Mama don't cry. Please, mama don't cry. Thank God you gave me that tender love. See, mama, I'm trying to write this song for you. Before I say much thank you, there's no woman above you for feeding me your soul food. Now I'm vigilant and wise. Before I had no damn clue. Your prayers made me who I am today. You've been gone for 11 years and still feels like yesterday. I'm facing the world on my own now. In bad times I meditate, go underwater and ignore the pain. You pray for my dreams to become true, and your love is incredible. I still feel it, even though you're gone. That's one of the reasons I wrote this song.
Miss Revolve. Miss
Revolve.
South Africa. Man, there's a lot, and I go and like there's like titles and titles.
No,
okay.
Yeah, they are.
Sanibona welcome channel. Exciting episode of the Talk of Obee usahlezi nami Obee Nkhabela khona la you kasi favorite podcast namhlanje ngihamba ngedwa as always ngaba now with this beautiful gorgeous lady la eceleni kwami ngithola igama lakhe she's Obee Bianca Gugu Tuesday, and namhlanje she comes to our show, she comes to this studio to bless us with her presence as Miss Revolve South Africa finalist 2023 bafethu. Sizobe sidiga into her life ukuthi sisivele ubani ngithola siphethelene yabo. I call her Barbie.
Thank you so much.
You know, so bafethu will be digging deep ukuthi sisivele ubani, but before we get even into that about the two dig and everything, please subscribe, please like this episode, hit the notification button. I told you, this is a corner, you know, this is a corner, share like my social media, na WhatsApp, na my Instagram, na my Facebook, and just do your thing, everything, just tune in about for another exciting episode every time. Someone, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much.
No, man, I'm sorry, man, for the waiting. You had to go all the way to the thing.
It's okay. You know, sometimes you just have to keep on keeping on despite the difficulties.
You're looking good. I hope I'm looking good. If you was, I'm looking good. So, Miss Revolve South Africa. Wow. How did you come about meeting the pageant?
So, actually, I got to know about the pageant because last year I entered for a pageant called Miss Intercontinental South Africa, and then I got to meet amazing people within being a finalist and all of that. So it happened that on that pageant that I'd entered for, that I happened to drop out from. Like I just decided to not continue with the pageant, but it's not anything from the side of the pageant itself. I just had to deal with some things. But having to know the founder of that pageant, I just saw that they introduced this new pageant. No one has been crowned Miss Revolve South Africa as yet.
So you just stand a chance to be crowned there the first
exactly.
Exactly.
Just like the other pageants that I just handed over the crown for, called Miss Royal Regent South Africa. I was the first ever crowned queen. So yeah, I like doing things first.
So a figure more to a pageant itself, and some of the stuff that you had to do on behalf of the pageant. But like, I can't really pin where first I saw you, but along the way, you just became this important presence along my contact list or around me, or within the spaces and one thing about you is whenever someone meets with you, it's always those vibes, there's always the smiles, there's always the hug, there's always the laughter. What keeps you going? What keeps that kind of energy within you?
I just believe, Guti, I've always set a dream for myself. And with some of the things that I've acquired as a person, I just look back at time and I'm like, okay, did you really do that? And it always amounts to the number of difficulties that I have faced. And I'm not saying it's not doable. I always prove to myself that it's always doable. The minute when you have someone that you can honestly look up to and say, "Hi, Bo, they managed to go from this to that," that's a system changing. And that is exactly something that I want for myself, to change the system. I'm from a very disadvantaged environment in my yes, some people do know, but I normally say Midrand because, it's Midrand.
It's Midrand,
It's Midrand. Yeah. But people do not know that what is the situation like. And sometimes I find young girls that are about 5 or 9 going, "You move to school." makeup yakho yenze kahle. And this is something that I've adapted from the people that I look up to. So that is something that I want to do for them as well, to open room for them to have the possibility to dream. That's
possibilities to dream. When you were younger, did you dream of one day maybe walking the stage as a title holder or as a model?
No, I've never. And that's shocking. And that is the power of unlearning certain stuff and learning new things. As a kid, I always said that I want to be a president.
President?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's being a huge dreamer, right? Like, I want to be a president. And then as I grew up, I started to see the possibilities of becoming something and working towards getting something. As it is, I am currently studying law, and at times it's really challenging. But I just feel that the minute you see that you want to do something, or when you get people saying you can't do something, just sit down on your own, brainstorm look at the possibilities, and then challenge yourself.
Be like a challenge. I'm next.
You know, even in when it comes to stuff, and that is it for me. And with modeling, it's something that people used to say to me, but you know, you have a nice body, slender, mostly in high school. Why don't you do modeling? And at that time, because I used to be a bit shy, I was really worried about it. But the amount of confidence that modeling has brought into my life has actually pushed me to continue with it.
So I know for a fact that you went to Impel, and you were also some Miss Impel some things before, no?
No, the only thing that I got to do that was a highlight at school is being part of the top 12 achievers across Midrand. Yeah, that was it for me. And then I was like, okay.
When's the grade by the time?
I was doing my grade 11.
Grade 11.
Yeah.
So you were on the wow.
Yeah, and it was my first time being on a newspaper, and I was like, okay, girls, you did that. So
life now is really happening.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not about what you are getting out of a certain act. For me, it's just the feeling that comes with it. And you know, when you nurture your mind with so much positivity, you become really great in your craft.
Really great indeed. When you were at school, what kind of subjects were you doing then?
Okay. I did, let me start from my grade 10 so that it makes more sense.
Grade 10, yeah.
So my grade 10, I did physical sciences and maths. Yeah, very, very ambitious of me. And at that time, I was still staying at Mpumalanga. Yeah, with my grandmother. I did it at school in Abati Ihlabani High School. So yeah, I did my grade 10 there, and then I passed, but not so well, because now there's peer pressure. There's a lot happening. The excitement of being in high school, the excitement of the change that just got into my life. And then now, I passed, but I wasn't really happy with my marks. Yeah. So now I had to move from Mpumalanga to the side because I had to stay with my parents. Yeah. And then
so whose decision was it for you to move to like this side? Was it yours? Was it your granny's? Was it your parents?
It was my granny's. Not because I was rebellious. No, not entirely. No. She had to move to a KZN at that time. So now having to leave me and my little sister back in Mpumalanga, that was going to be like a huge decision for her. And I thought maybe at that time she just felt I wasn't ready enough to just, be on my own.
Be on your own, yeah.
So I got to move this side.
So do you guys have like when you move like KZN?
Yeah, I have a lot of homes.
Is it?
That's one thing about me. My mom is Zimbabwean.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my mom is Zimbabwean. Wow. My dad is Zulu. So, I have a home at Zim, I have a home at Mpumalanga, I have a home at KZN. There's a lot going on.
A home
So, going back to completing the answer, school. Now that I was this side, I had to choose subjects, and it was a challenge for me to get a school because I got this side, I think it was around March.
Around March, yeah.
Yeah. So
already my interest is Harvard.
Exactly. So now we are worried how people are going to school now. There's a lot going on, but we ultimately got a school for me at Umkhele. But then they were like, no, physical sciences is full. So now you have to make a decision. It's either you change the subjects that you are doing to another field, or faculty, and I was like, okay, so in the general, and I didn't know what general was at that time, but I had people going general, and I was like, general it is, and then luckily it was open. I started doing really bad with my marks, not gonna lie, but I got a group of friends. We used to call each other the Fifth Harmony. My highlight, like my favorite friend was Ukanyisile Gianni. Yeah, so yeah, she helped me.
Let me just do my thing since. Okay, so also school already, life is happening with our friends, understanding now the general stability healing, and then at what point does the modeling starts to kick in?
Okay, so modeling for me started kicking in the minute I realized that something was missing. And something was indeed missing, because I always knew from some of my teachers, like there's something with you, Gugu, but I hadn't really accepted it. You know, I hadn't really realized, okay, what is it actually about me? Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, trying to figure out my stuff on my own, and then I realized, my problem at the time was self-doubt. And I've bounced so many times back and forth in self-doubts, you know. So yeah, for me, I told myself that, okay, people have been saying that I should try modeling. Let me at least give it a try, because I don't want to be in a point in my life where I'm saying I could have. You know. And
you could have as a means.
Yeah. You know, there's no point in life to be sorry about things. Things that happen for a reason, and if you didn't do a thing at a particular time, maybe you might still do it, but there's a high possibility of you not getting that chance ever again. And I knew at that point that it was my time. And yeah, I didn't really start off directly in metric. I started right after metric. Where I got to meet my mentor, and that was someone that I met in my cousin is like, no, talk to her, she'll help you out.
Is it?
You know? Yeah, she knows her stuff, she knows her story. She's good at what she does. Her name is Obee. So yeah. Then I was like, okay, let me just, try working on it. And then on my first pageants, I acquired First Princess. Yeah, that was Miss Natural Midrand.
I now have a clue which I'm going to go on it, but we're gonna get into that. Let's speak about Beverly for a minute. I thought Beverly was your cousin.
No, she's not. I know we look alike.
But
no, she's not my cousin. She's just a sister to me, a bigger sister that I never really heard, and God just was like
for it. I thought Beverly was like your like a bigger sister, like blood and stuff.
I think one thing about Bev that maybe she likes about me, because I know she's had some mentees previously, but one thing about me in particular is the fact that I've always went to her when I felt like there's something in my mind. It's more like when I want to enter for a competition, despite her just coming to me directly and saying, Gugu, there's a competition that you can do, my passion helps her to manage to help me. Sometimes you have to help yourself for the next person to be able to help you. So that's the thing with us. I always go to her to seek advice, to tell her about what I dream of, and there's power in just having someone listening to you. There's power also in knowing that you are cared for, and she's given me that.
Shout out to you, Bev. Shout out to you, bro. So let's speak. As you're speaking about first pageants, it comes to my mind that I first met you at a barrage. This pageant, I forgot it, but you were wearing some Zulu outfits.
That was Miss Morningstar.
Oh yes, you see,
2019.
Yeah. I think that's exactly the right time. Wow, my memory is coming back now. So you did your first pageant, First Princess, and how do you feel at the time? I'm like, this is your first. I'm sure the feeling must have been,
I was shocked, but I knew deep down that I had it, and that's because when I do something, I don't take advantage of the opportunity that I'm given, and I really work so hard to acquire whatever that I put my mind onto. So I knew at that time that there was a possibility for me to be crowned, but again, it was a matter of sometimes you just have to meet some people and see how it's actually done for you to understand. And I remember Charmaine Morey.
Yeah.
Was crowned that day. I was so happy for her. And one thing for sure about me being a first princess made me see it's okay. I'm number 2 to that girl.
Yeah.
That girl,
Yeah.
I've seen her videos. That girl can turn in an evening dress. That girl does really amazing. So for me, I just knew from that point that I can't go back to enclosing the skills that I do believe that I have, and enclosing just my story, because I would love for other people to actually see that there's possibility through me. You know, I want to be.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to be the face of failure and say I failed at some point in my life, or 1, 2, 3 has happened. But I want people to remember how I got back from whatever it is. So yeah, it's been that for me.
Your cousin, the little one, she's also doing pageantry. Is it that thing which we born or
My cousin, who? Specifically.
Specifically.
Specifically, no. Okay, let me try to remember. I don't want to lie. But how did I get to know her?
But do you guys get together and like share like moves or like dresses or like skills and ideas and stuff like that?
It's mostly dresses or outfits, or just in conversation. Okay, little sis, what do you need for a pageant? Okay, this is what I need for my pageant. But otherwise, Specifically has her way of doing stuff. Yeah. I think she might have been motivated by Bev or me, but most of all, it has always been about her. And that is how I wanted to be for the longest of time. Even Namanja, I know Specifically does do certain things better than I actually do. And that is her. I have to respect that she brings that into the room. So at all times, I just try to let her do her so that she can master doing her. So that when I am not around, or maybe when Bev is not around, I can't
That's nice. That's nice. So, what title won't go now? I know you have many. Can you recall how many titles do you have?
I don't know. I know the number of sashes I have, maybe.
Yeah, sashes.
21. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
But yeah, it's somewhere around 21. I know it fits a shoebox now. Shoebox So yeah.
Yeah. So my title our page. Which one would you say this one's my favorite? Or this one's like the highlight of my modeling career within the years?
Just one?
Just one. Or maybe just pick two. Or maybe three.
Okay, I can pick 2.
Okay.
Alright, my first title that really means a lot to me has to be my Miss Regal End title. Yes, I know it's a finalist title, but that's also a milestone. That's an achievement, you know, because I know it was hard in that competition. There was a lot of things that had to be done, and it made me realize that I shouldn't be comfortable. I shouldn't get to a point where I feel like I got it. I understand now. I know what I'm doing. I've done this. I have a lot of titles. No, it shouldn't be about that. I should always know that there's gonna be a point where new things will be introduced to me, and I should be able to be ready to juggle them and run with my dreams. So yeah, Miss Regal allowed me to meet a lot of amazing people. So yeah, amazing sisters, create a sisterhood, and yeah, from there on I knew that I have to push. And then my second title, my most favorite title, has to be Miss Royal Regent South Africa.
Wow.
And RSA Models Awards. Yeah. I loved being Miss Royal Regent South Africa, mainly because of the way that the founders are. It was a very tough time for me during the reign itself. Yeah, but they really did understand, and they really made me see Guti, despite being a pageant queen, we are human. And we are allowed to go through difficulties. We are allowed to make mistakes along the line. But the most important thing is getting up from that mistake, learning from that mistake. Yeah. So yeah, they really loved me for me. So I love them for that. And yeah, the RSA Models Awards, because of the opportunities as well that have been presented. I've managed to see myself around Gorgeous City, you know, and they're like, oh, it's that girl. There she is, you know, have the feeling of people hugging me and getting excited as to who I am. But somehow it made me realize that for me, I don't want fame.
No fame.
I'm pushed by purpose. Yeah, it's nice seeing yourself there. I did that, but it's more nicer when people know how you got there.
How you got there? Yeah. Because I think Abanyabantu they do enjoy the journey. Abanyabantu they do enjoy the destination. And I'm getting the vibes between you're that person who enjoys the destination. You know, the journey instead of the destination.
Yeah. Because there's times where I'd get crowned, ne? And then I'm on stage, man, just saying crown you, and then I'm like, I thought I was gonna be head over heels, super excited about this. Like, it's not that I don't appreciate my titles, I do, but sometimes there's something in me that feels like there's something in Shodai, you know,
something missing.
Yeah, there's something missing, but I'm yet to find it. And I'm always going to be courageous and go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. I know you always have nice things to say about me. And if someone asks me obviously something about you, I don't think there's anything bad that I will ever say about you, right? So I want you to know what like personally, like if like someone had to like, if you had to describe yourself maybe like within 3 or 5 words, must describe yourself.
I'm kind, very compassionate, loving. I'm bold. I have a really bold character, in as much as sometimes I bounce back there and there, but I have a bold character. And I'm a praying young girl. You won't see me going to church, but I do pray. I do believe in God. I do believe that with everything that I am and will be, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am. You know. So I always put God forward with Yonkindo. Even when I feel like I'm giving up, I'm just like, Lord,
God,
I know you got me, and I know this is happening, but just take me through it. So kind, compassionate, loving, bold, and definitely a praying girl. And
competitive as well.
To myself. To myself. Honestly, it's to myself. And when the minute you stop being competitive, like being competitive, slow mo guys. But yeah, being competitive to other people, it becomes a little bit challenging. Because now you'll see someone doing something because you feel like you're more deserving of whatever that it is. So you always have to compete. Thank you. Compete with yourself. Tell yourself that yes, 1, 2, 3 is happening right now, and I am doing this now. As I am a finalist right now, I'm a Miss Revolve South Africa finalist, mostly because I know I've made the previous Gugu proud with certain competitions, and maybe I've been quiet a bit because of everything that has been happening. Because everyone is lifing. I'm not the only one that's dealing with life.
You all go through some challenges.
We all deal with life. But now it's a thing of, okay, Gugu, you've made Gugu proud, but go for it again, Gugu. You know, do it, Bianca. Do it. So that's it for me. Always.
So, do you do like morning affirmations in the morning?
I hardly do.
I'm bold. I'm this and
I hardly do. Maybe I don't do it the way you think I do it, but here's what I do. I really wake up late. I don't know why. I always wake up late. That is, a bad character of mine. Yeah.
Do you do New Year's resolutions? Resolutions.
I do, but for me, it's always, I never really plan like that into things. It's always a thing of God. Do it for me.
Do it for me. Just
you know what I want. Just do it for me. So I play good music to myself. Like I always play nice music that makes me feel spirit,
Speaking of music, Angani, name your top 3 music on the playlist right now. A song maybe with you like Ilanga, I'll show you just try.
It's No Competition by Asake.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Nigerian song, but I love it.
I know Asake.
Yeah. And then it's Leave More and Love More by Cat Burns. And then it's Slow Up by Jacob. Yeah. Wow. I love those songs.
Is he like a gospel artist?
Not really. Yeah, it's a really soulful song. I don't know if I should categorize him as a gospel artist, but yeah.
Let's get into the business of the deal. Mr. Revolve South Africa. What do you want to achieve through this pageant, and what are some of the things that you have already done as a finalist of the pageant?
Okay, so as a finalist of this pageant, so firstly, starting with entering the pageant, making the decision of entering the pageant, I just saw it as a title that resonates with me.
Was it a hard decision for you to just say, okay, I'm entering this?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like that at first. At first, I was just like, I'm going for it. Yeah. But as I am within it at times, well, earlier on, it was a thing of, okay, I know that I've endured a very daunting time last year. So now coming back to loving myself or not questioning myself was a bit, hard. Because there's days where you just need to be in your room, close your eyes, be in touch with the world, and get to ask those questions like, why? Why did this happen? Why am I doing this? Why do I see myself doing that at that specific point? So yeah, at that it has been something that I grew into understanding. Time waits for nobody. Just because you're going through a hard time,
it doesn't mean the world is
stopping. Waiting for you to finally feel like it's time. So yeah, sometimes people won't know what you're going through at that time. But again, because when you know what's going through in your life at that time, push yourself to get out of that situation by bringing in positivity. So when I instantly realized that this is a title that means change, Miss Revolve. It's revolving, going ahead with time, or going with time, or being within time. So that for me was just like, okay, it's time.
It's time now.
It's time.
Time to step out of my shadow.
Exactly. This. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for me. And as a finalist, I've managed to at least touch hearts, and I've managed to touch hearts through my story. There's some things that you do without people watching. Like, I know sometimes we do take videos of certain stuff that we do, charitable work that we do, but there's work that we do without no one watching.
Just off the cameras.
And sometimes you might not even get to talk to the people that we get to talk to at that time, or help people understand that you're not alone at that specific time. But it doesn't mean it's not happening.
It's not, it's happening.
It is happening.
It's happening.
So yeah, I've managed to do mostly of that, and I've managed to do some food drives, mainly because people are going through a lot. I see that with myself at times. We're going through a lot.
Are you still in touch with the Itembisa that orphanage?
I am, but at the moment it has been just a matter of not managing to give enough to the girls. And sometimes, like, I don't know, I'm more of a giver. When I get to a space at times, and when I know that there's something that's missing at that particular time, I'd love to like have something with me. Even if it's not that big, even if it's just an item, for me, I know it means a lot, because right now I'm wearing a necklace, right? It has a story behind it. It reminds me of something, and it reminds me maybe perhaps of someone. Just like the titles that we get to have in pageants. The sesh means something.
It's a reminder.
It's a reminder. It's a constant reminder of it was, it will be, it's happening, and you will excel eventually.
So speaking of giving back, like is it like something that where you taught maybe like from Ukoko, or like maybe where you taught from like Mami, or like is it something that has always been like a burning desire in you to, or actually see the next person and just want to help out and reach out and just give out?
It really has been a burning desire for me. Like, I think one of the reasons why, not that I think, I know that the reason that I actually do it for me, it's always to feel the void in my heart. I don't know. Like, I do it because I want people to normalize being kind.
Yeah.
I want people to normalize loving each other.
Loving each other.
I want people to go back to the times where you see your neighbor having a bride and you simply get excited for them on some. Oh, hi! You know, not seeing the next person in Zintoya or something great for themselves and then feeling as we see, why them? Why not me? So I do it at times to say, okay, I do not have much. But I do understand that the next person wouldn't be having what I have. And I'm grateful for the Lord above that I have it at this particular time. And I'm not going to be selfish about it. I do not have much to give, but I need them. Sometimes I just want to have a conversation with them on some. And as I'm giving you this, please do it 3 times better to the next person, should you get a chance. So that's it for me.
That's exciting. Okay, so basically I want to switch it up a little bit about what you, if given a chance that you get crowned Mr. Revolve, right? What are some of the things that you would love to do within the crown or within your reign, and after it is done, what would be your next step then for?
Okay. So for me, I don't want to say I'm going to change the world and be a Mandela. I do not have the capacity to be a Mandela at this time.
Yeah.
But I know that there's someone watching, you know. So for me, should I be crowned Miss Revolve South Africa, I intend on actually getting into doors that I never really thought that they would actually open up for me. And that is the beauty about pageantry.
Yeah.
And it's the beauty about this pageant in particular, because I know the founders. And I know the type of people that they are. They are the type of people that want you to exceed your capabilities. Be your grandest self.
Yeah.
Like Elliot always preaches that, the founder of this pageant or the director of this pageant, that the sky is actually the limit, you know. Not in his actual words, but he does say something in that sense.
Just paraphrasing.
Push. He says push all the time. So that's it for me. I know he's going to allow me to believe in myself more, because I have been in a point where I felt like it's not doable, where I felt like I should give up. And I'm so proud of myself that I never really gave up. And that's it for me, that there's a way forward. You know, as it's not going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So with this crown, I intend on touching hearts. It could be with organizations that would want to partner with me, so that I can be able to say my story, so that I can be able to listen to other people as well, and just, you know, see what we can do. Change comes more, especially when you unite as people. You can't do things all alone. A lot, because now you can't be good at one thing in particular, but the next person might be good in something that you're not good at. But when you come together as forces, you create something impeccable.
Yeah.
So that's it for me. If I can't be given this opportunity to be Miss Revolve South Africa, I'll surely prove that change can happen. Doesn't matter where you're at, what points you are at in life, it's doable.
Mokruma is long. I get amazed, you know, what you like. I'm like, are you from like private school, or you know? Is it something, or like reading your thing, or is it something that you're passionate about?
It's I don't know. I don't read a lot of books. For me, it's just podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, even on Spotify. Like, I go on my Spotify and I'm like, okay,
that helps as well,
maybe stories. It depends on what mood I'm in. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I guess sometimes we do not see. As a primary kid, at that time, you would be scared to go, good morning, how are you? Not because you don't know that that's how you have to say it, but it's the fear. It's the fear of having to say it. You're just doubting yourself, and you're like, ish, what if it's not good morning? What if it's good afternoon? So the minute you just step out of that fear, you'll just realize how good you are at something. And for me, I think it depends on my days. If I am really sad and doubting myself, becomes hard to speak in English.
So Zulu pay.
Lapho, you know, lapho nje ngivele yazi ngikhuluma isiZulu ngoSwati throughout.
I have this tendency of which when I'm thinking, like introspecting, ngithola sengikhuluma ngesilungu for like an hour, and I'm like, mara angisumlungu, like why not put like language I'm in between? Is that a thing that happens to you as well?
It depends on who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It becomes easier with no ban. But on my own, like I love challenging myself.
Yeah.
The world is constantly changing.
It's constantly evolving.
Right now, it's revolving all the time, like the title itself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you could wake up at a whole different environment, an environment where you won't be able to articulate yourself using your home language or your mother tongue. So you should be in a position where you're able to have a conversation with other people, because you never really know who you're talking to or who you're meeting. So you should be able to like have a conversation.
One time I was in Pretoria when I was doing my thing, and you came on stage and you shared this experience that we just went through. And when you came off stage, actually what I wanted to do was to give you a hug, but I think it just made this moment or this space more awkward. What you were saying and what you did there was so much respectable for me to actually just to say, okay, I'm not giving the stage for this, I'm not giving the opportunity for this, but this is what I'm gonna talk about. Because I think you were given the stage just to show witty.
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting it.
And then you just went boom, and I'm like, whoa, this is really happening. And I would have to say thank you so much for sharing that. Because I think being part of sharing also offloads some work or like some work out of your like shoulders and stuff. And if you would love to speak about that, we can actually just take it for like a few minutes.
Okay, it's not a problem at all. So that's something I actually learned from a judge. I always forget her name. I'm not good with names. But that lady advocates for HIV and AIDS. And she says she lives with HIV. And she's not afraid to say that she lives with HIV. And for me, that was something that I didn't know would be possible. People hide their statuses because they're scared of being judged. And the minute you understand that you're not doing it for people, that is like you're not doing it in a sense where people can actually say, oh my goodness, she's good like that, or oh my goodness, she has HIV. You're just doing it to feel whatever that you're feeling at that time. Trust me, you can acquire anything. And that lady taught me that you should be comfortable in your own skin. The like true beauty is more than skin deep. It goes way more than your looks and everything. True beauty lies with serving a purpose. True beauty lies with accepting your story. And this is something that was hard for me. For people that do not know, I was violated in the year 2022. I like saying the year 2022 because I don't want it to feel like it's yesterday, like last year. And I don't want people to go, oh my goodness, shame. Some days I do need a hug. I really do. But most importantly, it's something where like I had times in my own space where I was just like, why me? But I realized that it could be me in a billion of people that have experienced that. And there's a reason why maybe it's happening to me. Some people keep quiet with the fact of being violated, raped, or surviving rape, or surviving almost being killed, and just say, I'm not going to say it out loud to people because I'm scared I'm going to get judged. It's not your fault. You didn't ask for it. And this applies to any other situation. Be comfortable to speak about your situation, not just to say you need people to empathize with you, but to make other people realize that it's okay. It's happening right now. It happened to you at that time. But what are you willing to do out of it? God gave me a chance. He gave me a chance again. A chance again to leave. Because at that time, my eyes were super red. And at some points, I've never been really worried about how beautiful maybe I am. I do get compliments where people are like, "Ay, umuhle shem." And I'm just like, thank you. But at that time, I actually yearned to get that you're you are beautiful comment from someone. And when I'd look at myself in the mirror, I would see myself with those red eyes. And it was scary for me because I was worried with am I going to get into my old self, look the way that I'm meant to actually look? And I would get people like Mnedi, Koboka, people within the RSA management or some of the people within RSA Models Award saying, you know, you're beautiful, and most importantly, we love how you've stepped out of this, and that's it for me. I want people to be comfortable in saying what they are going through because you wouldn't know who you're talking to, and sometimes you have to admit that you actually need help. It's okay to be independent, but you shouldn't really be like, you can be reliant to people, but just say something because you don't know what change it might bring up for someone else. Someone else might be suffering and not saying anything, which is why we have a lot of numbers or rocketing numbers of suicide. So we have to cut that down. We have to get in a point where we normalize that mental health is a thing. And I don't want to say my advocacy is mental health. That's the thing for me. I find people saying gender-based violence is my advocacy, 1, 2, 3 is my advocacy. For me, I just want to generalize everything. My advocacy has to, it is actually centered around personal development. It is centered around woman empowerment. And when I say personal development, I know that I'm touching all of those parts. I know that people, being a person, takes a lot. And I need people to understand that it's okay. That's also just a phase. And when I say my story at times, or if you get to hear my story again, just know that I'm not saying it out of needing empathy. It's not that. I know that you are out there and you need someone to talk to, and you're not in a space where you are getting someone to actually talk to you. But I need you to look at my story or relate your story, find correspondence in your story and my story, in a sense that you're like, okay, if she can come out of that,
I can do it.
Then I can do it as well.
Yeah. Just a minute. Actually, I find it so much beautiful that through the ordeal, you still find your strength to say, I went through that, and it's not my fault, but it's in God's hands now. You know, because most people love to play this victim part, which they are the victims, and they also step into a point which was victimized and not seeing themselves as the victor. Like that. Yeah. So thank you so much for always being in a space where you feel like you have to share a story. And what's so much important about sharing a story is that it not only empowers you but also encourages the next person to move, not to sit but to move, to do something, you know. So I'm saying that to come back to a sensitivity, sometimes we might be victims of some other things, but we also have to take the victory within it to say, okay, I did that. I'm that girl.
And again, also, I just feel like, when I speak of personal development, I feel like people really need to be taught, normalize that it's okay to life in life. People are starting to live up to standards of what they see on social media.
What they see on social media.
Yeah, and
it's fun that you're saying that, because I was about to ask you, what's your view of the society now? Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot. Hey, there's a lot going on. People. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it's just me, but sometimes I feel like people do not understand the concept of success. Which is why certain people start doing things that they shouldn't be doing in times that they shouldn't be doing it. There's a lot of young girls that are doing things that you wouldn't really think of. Like, things,
abanye bancane nabo,
yeah,
mbona yenza lento like you
uyazibuza ukuthi hayibo kanti yini engaka
umzala kubo,
yini engaka nakhona umzali ngiyambona. That's the other thing. Parents do try their best. Some parents, do try their best to show us indlela right yokwenza into, and it's just us that
being rebellious.
Choose ukuthi hayi, I'm not gonna go through that. I'm gonna go against that because you believe that whatever that someone is doing out there is right. Which is why there's a lot happening with crime rates, people, some dropping out. But I love what I'm seeing on social media lately of the graduations.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping people are not studying to just graduate and that's it. Have a plan.
Have a vision.
Have a vision. It's never really enough. It's never really enough. So that's the thing with the lifestyle these days, everything that's happening these days. I feel like people need to be in seminars. Let's talk, man. Let's have a conversation. And all I'm seeing and my view is lengi bonayo, but when a corner teach me, you know, that's it.
Speaking of graduation, last time you were studying, did you graduate?
As I've been saying, life is lifing.
Life is lifing.
Life is lifing. But now, the nicest part is I haven't dropped out. I'm studying, not doing bad. But yeah, don't ask me when my graduation is. You'll just see it on social media. But yeah, hopefully I just manage here.
I love the fact. I love how you run your social media. You know, like when you go to other people's social media, you also when it's using this mangas are like, is it like okay, so Google, okay. Yeah. But like when you go to like your social media, it's like it's just your story. It's just you there. It's just part of the pageants that you're part of. And I like that. Is it something that you're so much cautious, aware of? This is what I want to put into social media, or this is what I should put on social media?
Not really. I think I've really accepted myself for who I am. I have friends. I could be doing wild things as well. But like, I barely get the time. I think for me, my coping mechanism, or just going around with life, is staying busy. You've seen me the other day in the rank. Yeah, get man. It's always a rush. It's either I'm rushing to work, or I'm just busy with my schoolwork, or I'm busy being a finalist, working towards being crowned or whatsoever. I feel like I don't want to get to a point in my life where I'm like, I wasted time. You know, if it was for me, I wish I would be like an Albert Einstein. To that extent where I'm just like doing everything amazing. Because I do feel Uguti, that is something that's needed in my community. We need people like that in my community. We need people, we need to see it la. Mele utiyo la paya. We are ex into bazani ea lapa. Yeah, no, webo ea lapa ya ex. Yeah. No. Exactly. I would scuba into Ubonilla from afar. Because I know the people that inspire me are people either from America or just big people that I South Africa, but I don't really know good based good people. So I wanted to be a thing of ukulama obedience. Oh, actually, he's my friend. I can give him a call like just now. You know, I want it to be possible for everyone. And for me, when I put out my social media, that's truly me. Maybe I don't post about maybe on my Instagram. I don't post about my boyfriend, my social life like that, because hey, people are people.
The role is they find something to peel on you about.
And again, I want to do things in a sense like it's a thing of okay, it's a sure thing. I know this is me. I know I've made a decision a while back that this is me. So I have to live up to being me. And I've just normalized it. Even with just walking, just striking. No. Now it's a thing of
assuring confidence yourself. We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
It's just a very simple game, right? So I'm just gonna call out an alphabet, maybe it's A, and then I need you to maybe mention food.
Okay.
That starts with A, and then obviously gonna say apple, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if I say a country starting with an S, obviously you'll say South Africa, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's simple. So I need you to mention a car that starts with a B.
With a B?
Yeah.
BMW.
Okay, so just to make it much more interesting, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set a timer, like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just gonna pick my phone. I'm gonna set a timer, 15 seconds. So each question we're gonna run 15 seconds. Right? Okay. Super stuff. So let me just open my timer.
I'm excited but scared at the same time because I know myself. Hey, and I think a lot. My mind freezes.
It freezes.
Okay, but it won't happen.
Okay, super. Okay, super. So, mention a country that starts with a U.
Uganda.
That's easy. Mention a clothing brand that starts with a G.
Gucci.
Mention a beer that actually starts with
What?
a beer brand that starts with an E.
That starts with an E. I wouldn't know beer brands. Beer.
Okay, let's start. Mention a country in Africa that starts with an N.
Nigeria.
Wow. Mention a lady that starts with a B name.
Beverly. Obee Bianca.
Mention a lip bar product that starts with Z.
With the Z. Zamba.
Mention a shoe brand that starts with a B.
Biliato. No, it's not Biliato. That's alcohol. Bantu. Bantu. Yes, it's Bantu.
Okay, but yes.
Yeah.
Mention a shoe brand that starts with a D.
With the D. With the diesel.
10 seconds like. Oh yeah.
I won, guys. I won. You should give me my prize.
Yeah, you did. You did. Actually. So, when once it's all said and done, right? When you're walking down the streets, how would you love to? Which about to like bakumbule, like how would you love to be remembered? What are some of the things that you love people to actually say about you?
I don't have anything in particular that I want them to say about me, J. But I know that with everything that I am doing, I will, like, they will be at a point where they get to say something that I will be proud of, that my family will be proud of, because I know. Maybe they're gonna be like, oh, you know, you know. That's the thing about me with people around where I live. I don't enclose my life like that. Not everyone deserves to know you like that. You choose what people have to see out of you. And I've already chosen that. And I've already said it out. And I know with that, people are going to be able to say, yeah, you know, big up busy, shame or she's someone that the kids would actually look up to. She was actually kind, and yeah, she was a giver. She was loving, you know. Yeah, that's it for me. And I was actually strong. I am strong. That's it. So I know they're gonna say that, and I'd love for them to actually say that. And most of all, with them saying that, I want to them at least the lababa exposed to who I am. I want them to have something that has happened in their lives through me just being me.
Yes. So, wow, actually, that's so very profound. There's a saying that says, I want people to remember me for how I made them feel. And I guess that's this type of feeling like...
That's my Angela. That's my favorite quote. She goes, the most important thing... Okay, it's not about what you do. It's not about what you say that will make people remember you, but it is how you make them feel or how you made them feel. You know? It's like, okay, I have a friend, Obedience. I'm going to forget most of the things that we're saying here, but I'll never forget how you made me feel. I've never forget how you have helped me in times where I needed your help. I know I always come to you when I need articles, when I need interviews, and even on most of my articles, even some on Model Google, it's this guy, guys. So that's it for me. How will I even forget him? Because even in time of need, or even Obedience South Africa, he's doing really great. I'm just gonna be like, oh, he did 1, 2, 3 for me, you know, and he made me feel like in Filega. That's the key thing that makes it really memorable.
I like the fact that you said I'm leaving South Africa because like it sounds like a prophecy to me. But hey, I've got my passport last year. I just need my visa.
Yeah.
Just to.
It will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen.
I actually want to leave and go to like Tanzania maybe for like 2 years or 3 years. Yeah.
That's lovely.
And then come back to South Africa.
I do believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. You've always done things, so yeah, you've got this.
It's actually nice to actually hear someone say nice things about you. They just say, I believe in you. One thing that, as we're closing off, right?
Yeah.
I would love just to say this as part of the record as well, is no matter what you, and also picking up from the conversation that we had, is that no matter what you go through, you always find time for yourself. You always find time to actually kneel down, or as more time does you kneel, but you always find time to speak to yourself, to your higher self, and to the higher being, which is God. When you do things, you put Him first. And whatever that you have achieved in your life, you still find time to actually humble yourself, to actually stop and greet that person, to actually stop and ask that person, hey, are you fine? Even when I meet you, like when I'm always in a hurry, I can actually just pass and be like, oh, sorry, you know.
Yeah.
But whenever we meet, doesn't matter that you always have the time to actually stop and say, oh, hey, babe, I'll see you, you know. And that's human enough for me, you know. Like, we meet people, like younger people like yourself, especially ladies. It's becoming harder and harder for them. Like, it's always career this, career that, career this, career that. They don't even have this category. Bahlale phansi basibheka bona uthi actually mina, what do I want? What do I want to do? What do I have to do to actually get there? With what we see in the society, it's like always a man will do me this. Uzongisa kuma-pageant, uzongibhadalela registration fee, uzongisa into that interview and stuff. And when it comes to you, you're one of the few people that I know who always say with you, okay, I'm doing this, but you can just aid me, which is what I feel like because I don't have that thing, anything I want for me to actually get there. Waking up and saying, okay, I'm gonna go get that, is a very good spirit for me. So from me to you,
thank you so much, and thank you to everyone around me. I think what builds you as a person is who you keep close.
Yeah.
You know,
show me your friends. I'll show you your future.
I'll show you your future. And I know there's people that go against that on some. Yeah, my friends were doing 1, 2, 3 into end, but I didn't do it. I chose not to do it. Shout out to you. You can do that. But we easily get influenced into things. And then with me, I think with the people that I've managed to keep close, some of them maybe they aren't my friends like that. Like people like Michelle Chiremba. There's this lady called Michelle Chiremba. She's so articulate. Like, I met so many amazing people, and I always choose to learn something from them. I look at them and I'm just like, across the room, and I'm just like, oh, wow,
you're doing it.
Wow, you're doing it. And it's not a copy system, but it's a system where you're just like, okay, I saw that she's doing 1, 2, 3 for herself, or I saw him doing 1, 2, 3 for himself. Then what is it that's hard for me to do that for myself? You know, it gets to a point where you just sit down, breathe in, and you're like, okay, this is what I want. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and yeah, let's get it. Let's get them.
Let's get them
against all odds. Yeah.
Can you just close the show for us, if maybe I may ask?
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the show today. And as you can see, Model Bianca Gugu, and I am a Miss Revolve South Africa finalist. And of course, I am with the amazing Obedience Mukabela. And as we are about to close off this show, I'd love for you to actually subscribe, like, and also share all of the contents around, because your friend would be wanting to hear most of the things that we're saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming to the show. We actually had a beautiful conversation. I hope which people actually do hear to get to hear your story. Just off camera, with the cameras down, we can even just relax now.
Yeah.
Take some water. But before we even do that, there is this brand. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it.
Looks like something that I've promoted.
Okay, yeah. So it's 15 on Grace. It's water brandy. This one is the sparkling.
Okay,
this one is the still water. So the black one is the sparkling. The white one is the still water. So you just go check it on Facebook, on Instagram. It's actually 15 on Grace on both platforms, and just check it out. Maybe you might find yourself here. Well, keep it warm, you know, and stuff like that. Well, with that said, thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Peace out.
What? What conversation do you wanna have?
In the life or in the space.
Okay. So yeah, also with being with my friends, I realized that most of my friends had a certain. That's what we miss.
Yeah, should I podcast in obedience? He was always standing. Oh my gosh.
I know.